In yoga, there are several expressions that become almost cliche. One is leading with the heart. And it's such a wonderful way to describe how we go into a pose, to keep a nice elongated spine into forward bends, for example. In this practice, we'll start by setting an intention. Setting an intention for your practice is a wonderful yoga tradition because you're offering your practice, you're offering your focus, your awareness to a particular thing. It could be a project, it could be a person, it could be your pet, something very special to you that day. And also you could reaffirm an intention that you've set, such as a heart quality, like patience, or kindness, or generosity. We'll take a few moments to set that intention and have a practice where we lead with the heart. We'll start seated. Sit in whatever way works for you. Make sure you're comfortable. We'll focus on the breath to begin with. So close your eyes. Give yourself a few moments to settle in. Feel as if you're completely anchored on your sits bones. Maybe you can even rock slightly forward on your sits bones to refine your lumbar curve. You make these refinements as a way to enhance your form, as a way to enhance your practice. As you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Notice as you expand the breath even more fully with intention. You start to notice how it affects the body all the way from the pelvis to the collarbone. You feel an expansiveness. You feel bigger. When we set an intention for practice, we want to go into that intention, that practice, with an energetic feeling and a feeling of strength. So take these few moments to give more power, more strength to your breath. The Sanskrit word for intention setting is sankalpa. And when we set a sankalpa at the beginning of the practice, we have to refresh our memory sometimes during the practice. So hold that. Maybe have an image of what that would look like if you were able to fulfill completely that intention. And breathe more fullness into it. We'll be seated for 3 more full breaths. And in these last breaths, as we confirm and re-engage in our intention, See how long and full you can make the in-breath. A pause after the in-breath. A long exhale breath. You breathe in through the nose. Noticing that inner expansiveness, that inner fire that you created. You exhale long. One more in-breath. And long out breath. Now maintain a nice rhythm to your breath when you come to Tadasana, when you come to a standing posture. At the front of your mat, create a nice feeling of awareness, of engagement, as you draw from your toes to your pelvis. Similarly, draw from the fingertips to the armpit and to the pelvis to stabilize in your center of gravity. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, you lead with the heart. So keep your head lifted as you draw down and plant your fingers alongside the mat. Step back to all fours position or plank position. Lower yourself to the mat. Come to fingertip top position, so palms are off the floor. We open the heart so fully as you draw the elbows in. Exhale, you soften down. Let your breath help lift you up on the next in-breath, and you soften down on the out-breath. Again, inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw down. Come through all fours position to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under. With the heels lifted, swing your pelvis to the right to expand through the left side ribs. Lift your heels high, come to center. Now swing the pelvis to the left. Lift your heels high as you come to center. And walk your feet in just slightly. Bend your right knee as you draw from the pelvis down to the left heel, keeping the left leg straight. Bend your left knee, draw from the pelvis down to the heel to keep the right leg straight. Bend both knees, walk your feet up to your hands. Place your hands to your low back, rise up. Inhale, reach your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, draw your heart down toward the earth. Inhale, with your hands sliding up your shin bones, look forward. Exhale, lower yourself down. We keep the heart leading as you rise up. Exhale, draw down. One more time. Inhale, nice openness. Exhale, soften down. Bend your knees. Plant your hands by your feet to step your right leg back. Park your back heel. Inhale, lift your arms up to come to Virabhadrasana number 2. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Press your knuckles to the low back. Hug your elbows in. Draw your heart toward the inner left knee. Keep your back leg really soft. So rather than dropping your head stays lifted. Your heart just softens into the pose. Free your hands and step back to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, lift your right leg high, bend your right knee, open so fully to give a nice stretch to the thigh. Keep your left armpit lifted. Step your right foot right between your hands. Park your back foot, lift yourself up to Virabhadrasana number 2. Keep your back leg steady and strong. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Let the heart lead the way as you bow into the pose. Just kind of honor your practice, honor that intention that you set. Keep your shoulder blades hugging in toward each other and free your hands to take them to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Reach your left leg up, lift it high, bend your left knee, get this nice openness of the chest. Look forward and step your left foot forward, step your right foot forward. Place your hands to your low back, rise up, reach up. Reach way back. Exhale, bend your knees. Take your hands to the earth. Inhale, let the hands slide up the legs to let the heart reach forward. Exhale, you soften down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Nice pulsation, a lifting quality on the in-breath. Exhale, draw down. Place your hands alongside your ankles. Step your feet back to downward facing dog or all fours position. Step your right foot halfway to your right hand. Turn your right foot and place your right hand to your waistline. Draw your pelvis down. Now you have 2 options here. You can park your left forearm just on the mat. That is if you have any wrist issues. Or you can straighten your left arm, and as you press down through the right foot, inhale, you lift up the pelvis. Exhale, reach your right arm up, reach your right arm over for a nice stretch to the side body. Place your right hand back to the mat, step back to downward facing dog. Step your left foot halfway to your left hand. Turn your foot so the foot is now parallel to the front side of the mat. Come to the outside of your right foot and now draw your pelvis down to the mat. And in the same way, we're getting a nice stretch to the outer hip. And in the same way you did before, if you came down to your forearm to protect your wrist, by all means, or if you can straighten your right arm, as you press down through the outside of the right foot, lift your pelvis up, lift your left arm up, reach your left arm over your head, and just invite the breath to get this nice full stretch to the side body. Release your hand down, step back to downward facing dog. Draw your knees to the mat. Make your knees go as wide apart as the mat. Your inner big toes touch. You draw your pelvis back. If your knees are not happy with this, please modify your pose. So as you draw your pelvis back, once again, you keep the head lifted so that you can lead with the heart. In this practice, we're trying to keep nice openness to the front side of the body, even in the forward bends that we do in the practice. You breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. It's a way to keep the spine elongated, the front body so full, even in this pranam, this offering gesture. Come up to all fours position. In all fours position, move forward so the shoulders now are forward and the fingertips. Lower yourself down to the mat. On the in-breath, once again with fingertip top position so that you can work the back muscles, you can create more fullness in the baby cobra pose that we're doing. Exhale, down. Inhale, pulse and lift up. Exhale, draw down. One more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, and down. Come up to all fours position. Make your way to downward facing dog or stay in all fours position. Step your right foot right between your hands. Move your left foot just slightly closer to your right foot. With both hands to your low back, rise up. Hold on to either your elbows or your wrist so that we can come to another forward bend, leading with the heart. As the back heel stays planted, you just guide yourself very gently. You may rush yourself into some of these poses, but never rush yourself out of the poses. See if you can just keep a nice ease about your breath. Be gentle as you work with the breath to take yourself a little bit deeper into the forward fold. The back leg keeps you balanced. Your steadiness allows you to stay in the pose a little bit longer as you bow forward. So bend the front knee, free your hands, take them to the floor, step back to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, look forward, step your left foot forward, step your right foot just another footprint forward. Place your hands to the low back and rise up. Create an elbow frame behind you by holding onto the elbows or your wrists. Keep your back legs strong. We're opening to the possibility that we created in our intention. Keeping that physical feeling of openness, come to the forward bend. As you keep your back heel rooted, you just draw a little bit closer to the mat and you give yourself time. You give the breath an opportunity to just guide you, to take you into a deeper expression of this pose. Without rounding too much, with your head lifting slightly, to truly express the heart leading the way. You go a little bit deeper in your pose. Now free your hands, place them on the mat with your knee bent. Step your back foot forward. Place your hands to your low back and rise up. Reach up to the sky and slightly back. Exhale, lead with the heart to come down. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. Come to a plank position. Or all fours. Draw to the right side. So you're in the right side plank. Step your top leg behind you. And again, open your chest nicely. Release your left hand down. Come to the left side. Left side with the left hand, left foot down. You can step your foot back to anchor yourself so you feel so balanced as you just create this nice aliveness, openness in the pose. Release your hand down. Come back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Take your feet wider apart so it's very accessible for you to bend your knees and take your pelvis lightly to the mat. Once on the mat, extend your feet forward. Bend your right knee. Turn toward your right leg. Just let the heart just draw toward the inner right knee. Now twist the opposite direction. So reach your right arm up. Reach it toward your extended left leg. Now work the upper arm against the inner knee. Let your left hand be your kickstand to help you turn your heart in the opposite direction. You can come out of the pose, extend your right foot forward, bend your left knee. First, turn toward the bent leg side. Keep the heart lifted. Keep the heart leading the way in the twist. Keep your right leg very active. Now take your twist in the opposite direction. Reach your left arm up. Come forward on your sits bones. Reach your arm out toward your inner big toe. Get this nice fullness in the twist. And release out of the pose. With your knees bent, place your hands right behind the thighs and draw your heart forward. Exhale, just draw back. We'll do that 2 more times. Draw your heart forward, draw back. Heart leads the way on the in-breath. Exhale, you draw back. Now slowly free your arms and lower yourself to the mat. Once you're on the mat, draw your right knee in, stretch your left leg out, draw your right knee over to the right side, lift your right knee up, take your left hand to the outer right thigh and let the right hip just lift up slightly for a little twist. Come back to center. Release your right foot down, straighten the right leg. Pull your left leg in. Take your left leg to the side. This openness in the pelvic area. Now allow the left hip to leave the earth as you draw your left knee over to the right side. Come back to where you started, with both knees bent, with your feet planted, with your elbows pressing down, your palms facing each other. Inhale to lift your pelvis. Keep a nice openness in the heart that we've been working on throughout the practice. And release your pelvis down. Release your arms, extend your legs, close your eyes. In this practice, like so many yoga practices, it's very helpful to create an intention for the practice. You might have given yourself a visual image of that intention. What practices, what actions you might have to put into practice in order to find the fullness in that intention. Keeping your awareness keen. Allow your breath to take you deeper into the remembrance, that the feeling that that intention gives you. What it will be like if that intention is fulfilled. Let the breath be the gateway for those actions to fulfill. The breath brings life, brings energy to your intention. Keep it alive. Keep it full. Enjoy this time in Savasana, where you remember and re-remember intention that you set for yourself, the intention toward others, a heart quality that you set for yourself. To the teachings of yoga, we honor the awareness that the yoga practice brings to us. Namaste.